listing 1, joyful, 2, disappointed, 3, this, that, and then simply go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, etc. all through the room very quickly. Everybody will have their particular reaction. Okay? Again, it's really important that they react very strongly. So, for example, when the people come back in and they face their partner, they're going to stand here, and suppose I would like you to act very, very angrily. Okay? I'm sorry, I lost your dog.
What? That's my dinner.
Shocked me with that one. I said, what? How could you? That's my dog. I love my dog. I've had my dog for years. How could you lose my dog? You're so irresponsible. The other person, very naturally, has now got to react to the situation. They have to say something. And they can say, I'm really sorry. I'll find your dog. You say, you better find my dog. What are you doing to find my dog? Well, I was looking in the park, I put up a poster. Just a poster, that's all? Start thinking again. And this goes on because the emotional reaction is so strong that they have to say something. And once again, it kind of moves you away from thinking all the time about your answer, which you know tends to slow things down, right? When they're thinking, well, what's the right answer? They can't be thinking about it in those terms. They simply have to respond to the situation. And you'd be surprised what people will come up with when they're not really thinking so hard about the response, when it comes more naturally as a response to the emotional environment that you've created by this. Okay? So here's what I would like you to do. I would like you to actually try this, just to see what kind of feel you're going to generate. Okay? And just to add to this, what I would normally do then as well is very often I will try to structure the classroom so that when the person comes in, they might speak, what's your name? Emily. So they'll speak to Emily first. And Emily is very angry. After the person who comes in has spoken to Emily for about a minute, right? You know, that gives them a good chance to say a lot before they start to run out of things to say. Then I would usually say, okay, change. Now, the change is going to involve the person then moving from Emily to Daphne. Now Daphne. Daphne happens to be very, very sad about the dog. So now you're going to start again. I'm sorry, Daphne, I lost your dog. You're smiling. That's Daphne's sad. Dog. Right. And what's going to happen again is that the person is going to get a chance to actually practice again, to rehearse the same kind of storytelling that they were doing the last time with Emily. The practice of doing it once, twice, or 3 times with different emotional reactions actually gives the student an opportunity to repeat a lot of stuff. And you know, repeating is great. But the changing environment keeps the interest. Usually I find students can do this for quite a long time. I was actually quite surprised by how long someone could go on doing it for. But of course, again, time is a factor you can determine. But if you keep students moving, and you're only allowing them to stay with one person for 1 minute or so, again, this is an exercise, once it's been taught to the students one time, you can get them to do it again very, very quickly because they know the routine, and only spend about 10 minutes on it, very, very quickly. And you can change it to all sorts of different things. It doesn't have to be, I lost your dog. It could be something else. Like I tried once where I said, I stole your boyfriend, or I stole your girlfriend. Oh boy, they wouldn't stop talking about that. So you can change it to very simple things like this. It's very easy to do. I would like you to try it, okay? But given the number here, what I would simply like you to do is taking a look down here at the responses I gave you. Joyful, disappointed, angry, bored, confused, and any other possible reaction as well. As long as it's a very strong emotional response, you can use it. Okay? I would like you to try this with a partner. Same thing. Choose one person to say, I'm sorry I lost your dog, and the other person to respond. Again, very, very emotionally, right? The more emotional you get about it, the better the responses to this, all right? And I do know that some people don't feel very comfortable always being dramatic in this way, but again, try. I found that people do get used to it after a while. The first time is the hardest, it gets better. Are there any questions before we start? No? Okay, now after you've had a chance to do this too, I'll have a couple of random people come up just to see what kind of responses we can actually get from them. Okay? And also, I will ask you to change as well. So perhaps what you can do is, after I ask you to change, I would like the other person to take on the same role, but change the emotional reaction. Clear? Excellent. Let's start. You've only done it with 2 people, and you saw it probably didn't really take very much time to do at all. If you do this with a larger group in a classroom, and if you can arrange it so that perhaps you might have, for example, students arranged in such a way that you can say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different emotional reactions, then you can move people along in a kind of conveyor belt fashion to different people very easily, and as I said, continue this dialogue more than one time. One thing I forgot to mention, that this particular exercise is also a very good one for practicing past tense, because it's about storytelling, right? So it's a good opportunity to do that for those who want to practice it. I mean, past tense is probably the most frequently used tense in the English language, so it's the one that students need to spend the most time usually working on. It's also the one that's quite a bit it's awkward, you know, I mean, all the irregular forms and regular forms, the ending differences, etc. So they require a lot more practice. Now, I'd like to have a couple of people. Volunteers? All right. You two have to come up. You were great. Really? Okay, well, I don't want to put you in a position to make you feel awkward. Others?